All right. I'm here to ask you to be a surrogate for the Inez Beverly Prosser Psychi Scholarship for Women of Color. We need more people to help us raise our $50,000. And I am starting right here on the page and the Psychi page showing why we believe this scholarship's important, this short little description. If you Google Psychi and Inez Beverly Prosser Scholarship, you can find this link easy enough. You can also find it on the Psychi landing page. You can see that currently this scholarship page has $6,800 in donations from 66 supporters. If I'm talking to one of you now, thank you very much. We're working our way toward the goal. I'm actually going to go through and do a slideshow to help you remember some of this information. I'm going to help you make an ask. So I'm not giving this talk to people who are not yet familiar with the Inez Beverly Prosser Scholarship for Women of Color with Psychi. I'm actually making this video for people who I hope have already given and who are interested and motivated to go out and make asks of other people. And so here's an overview of what we're going to talk about, or what I'm going to talk to you about here in the next, hopefully, 10 or 15 minutes. So it's easier to make a request of others if you've been a donor in the first place. Just as a background information, Psychi, the International Honor Society, is providing $50,000 in matching funds to endow this scholarship. Once endowed, there will be a $3,000 scholarship provided each year to a member who is a woman of color who is pursuing a degree in psychology. So for people who are making a donation, every dollar that you donate is actually worth $2, because what we need is $100,000, but Psychi has agreed to start this for $50 if we raise the first $50. If you are a donor, it'll be easier to make the request for others to be a donor. So be a donor early and often. Where are we now? Just a reminder that we recognize 4 giving levels: Black Diamond Donor, Pink Diamond Donor, Blue Diamond Donor, and Orange Diamond Donor, with those giving amounts beside them. We have about $100,000, or 10. Wouldn't that be lovely? $100,000. We have about $10,000 right now in combined donations and pledges by the end of June that we'll have. Our average donation is about $70 to $100. That changed recently. It has been at 70 and drifting down. Recently, a big donation popped that up to over 100. So we got kind of excited there. We'd like to see all our money get raised within 4 years total. That 4 years will come in later when we're talking about making a request for other people to make donations. So we'd really like to make another $2,500 in donations this spring, between now and June, in the next 5 months. I think is very possible. Wouldn't it be lovely if we could exceed that and even get to 20,000? But right now, let's just get to 12.5. What do we need? We need total about 600, 700 donors across the span of the donation. We expect to need about 600 to 700 donors. Do you like my 100-year-old rocking chair? No kidding. Can you hear it? Yeah. So there are many paths to getting our donations. I have one over here to the right, where we have about 15 donors. Whoops. We have 15 donors who are Black Diamond donors, and then 25 Blue Diamond donors, 100 Pink Diamond donors, 500 Orange, to make the 640. This does not have to be how it happens. I'd love to see even more Black Diamond donors, so that we're less dependent and reliant on the large number of Orange Diamond donors that we're currently expecting that we're going to need. When making a request, we're going to get more Black Diamond donors and more Blue Diamond donors from face-to-face asks, and we can expect more of the Pink and the Orange Diamond donors just to come out of nowhere if we make large requests. So even you just making a request benefits us. So who do we think will donate? Well, I do think that it's important to recognize that Black Diamond donors are not Orange Diamond donors. Students, young faculty, people on the street probably aren't willing to give us a whole lot of money, or they don't have a whole lot of money. Although some of our students have a lot more money than I do for sure. But to remember that when you're making the ask, to think about who you're making. People who are passionate about the cause want to be donors. So it's about connecting somebody to the donation opportunity rather than forcing them to give money. I hate to make people give money. This isn't like asking them to give money to your school, although they should do that as well. This is asking them to give money to people they never met for the rest of time. Once this is established, this fund will be going on until Psychi falls apart, which I hope is right before the sun explodes. Or well after, if we've already left the solar system. In any case, who might donate? Your friends want to donate. They just don't know it. Yeah. Just bring them to the opportunity, and you'd be surprised at how many are willing to even give you, even if it's just $25 or 10 or 15 or 20, how many would give because it's a good cause and they know it's important. I like to think about people that I know that I think have more money than they need. And I think about people with second and third edition textbooks as a nice marker. You can think about other ways to look around your friends and colleagues and think about people that wouldn't think that much of $100. Go out for dinner and spend $150, $200, $24, $30 for a glass of what, or a bottle of what, or for expensive meal out. This is not a big ask in relative to that. And in comparison to the calories they don't need to eat or consume in that, this is something that would benefit people for a long time. So if you just think about that, just about almost any full professor could be a Black Diamond donor. So we'll talk about that in a little bit more, but just setting up the ask, you got to stop feeling guilty. We're not asking you to sell them insurance. We're not asking you to sell fire extinguishers, knives. You're not asking them to do something they don't want to do. And if they don't want to do it, they'll walk away, and they won't be mad at you for asking. This isn't like selling candy for Boy Scouts. This is creating something that will last forever. So just bring the scholarship up in casual conversation with your friends and colleagues, or people that you've targeted because you think that they would want to give because they're a full professor somewhere. See if they nibble. Any nibble's worth pursuing. Any nibble's worth the ask. So I recommend 2 approaches for you. The first is the door in the face. That's my personal favorite. We'll start with that one, and then the second is foot in the door. That's much easier for the beginner, which I think some of you are. So, making the door in the face. Now, of course, you can't let them know that all this is coming, or none of it works. But here's how you do a door in the face. First thing is you need to be bold. A door in the face does not come from somebody. You got to sell an ask. When you get up on stage and you do something that's corny or dorky, like, let's say, perform a album of Crisis Spices songs to inspire open science, you got to really believe in the thing. So you need to believe in what you're doing. You walk up, you say, I want to see your name as a Black Diamond donor. You are a Black Diamond donor to me. And they might just agree. It's happened where people have just said, yes, I agree. If they say no, then you go, okay, all right, I get it. But remember, a Black Diamond donor costs less than you think, right? So door in the face is that you make a request that's bigger. I've asked people for $50,000 to get us started. So you make the ask that's bigger than you know they're going to give, and then you work it down. So nobody's really likely to give you $1,000 just because you ask. But $1,000 over the course of a year is only $83.33 a month. That is not as much. It's still a lot. It is, by the way, what I'll do until we fund this. So I'll be a double Black Diamond donor or quadruple Black Diamond donor. I don't care. We'll keep going until we get there. But $83.33 might still be enough. Well, for 2 years, $44 a month, or for 3 years, $33 a month, or for 4 years, $25 a month. So when you get down to $25 a month, start thinking about that's less than $1 a day. What do you spend $1 a day that you don't need to spend? I like to talk about coffee or beer. Although as a Psychi video, maybe I shouldn't bring up beer. We do expect this to take 3 or 4 years. So if Black Diamond donor is achievable at that $25 rate, we're pretty sure. Also, not everybody needs to be a Black Diamond donor. So if they're interested, but they keep saying, that's too much, just keep saying, well, I mean, there's a Blue Diamond donor, there's a Pink Diamond donor, there's an Orange Diamond donor. Not everybody needs to be a Black Diamond donor. How much can you get to us before June 2020? And how much can you get to us over the next 4 years? If they just say no, say thanks and move on. Don't feel guilty. Foot in the door is the other way around. You ask a very small request you think they'll say yes to, and then you ask a bigger request. So you say, have you heard about the Spirit of Prosser Women of Color Scholarship that Psychi is putting together? I'd really like to see you on the list of donors. Well, what does that mean? Well, anything you give, and we get you on the list of donors above $25. That's a very small ask. It's a very easy ask. And they say yes, woo! If they say no, thank them and move on. If they say yes, then you say, well, I'm glad that you agreed, but there are actually 4 levels of donors. What about being a Black Diamond donor? Or what about a Pink Diamond? And work your way up to the Black Diamond donors. All those same points to consider are still there. So if they agree, once they agree, I lost my... Oh, I didn't lose it. Once they agree, get them a link to the scholarship as quickly as you can. And then while thanking them profusely at the same time, ask them to consider writing a quote so that it might be shared for further recruiting. We like to have a pile of them from people. So particularly if this is somebody other people would recognize, we'd love to get a quote from them. Ask them to help you find more donors. We've had some people in secondary and third donors raise more money than they gave themselves. So don't be afraid to ask them to ask others. I'm sure that you can even get them this video if they would like help making the ask. And then make sure you report the pledge to a committee member or Cynthia so that we can follow up on it in case they take too long or they need help later. So let's get closer. I'm very excited to think that we'll get 20 to 25% within the first year. I'd love to see us exceed that at many, many levels. Thank you for watching, and contact me at any point if you like.